I'll just kind of start with some of the headlines, and then we'll get into it. First thing you led off with, no Austin Deculus, no Cam Wire, no John Trey Kirkland, no Ali Gay, no Sony Fanua for the game on Saturday. That's one bullet point that we want to get to. He talked about the running game, which I want to get your thoughts on. Jared Small, as we predicted, out for the year. He will not return. That's a tough bite for him. We'll talk about that. Talked about Jay Ward, wasn't sure about him. Couldn't afford to put Corey Kiner in the game. A little bit of that as well. But your overall thoughts on the press conference?
Yeah, I thought it would go pretty much like that. A lot of questions about him and his son, which is a great opportunity for them as a family. That rarely happens in college football, so I'm sure they're excited about that. But, yeah, a bunch of cliches. He actually gave up a lot more information than I thought, especially about the run game and things of that nature. So, but when you're playing McNeese, it probably doesn't matter that much.
No, it doesn't. But I think one of the things that we talked about in our brief first segment was this is an opportunity to get yourself out there and work on yourself for this game against McNeese, because you can do whatever you want and you're still going to walk over this game and get a victory. It's all about you. And the fact that your two tackles aren't going to play is bitterly disappointing. And it was such a sore point for this team. And now you're going to go out there with a makeshift offensive line that can't work on continuity, can't get reps together. It just, to me, that's just grossly disappointing that you're going to be missing your two tackles in this game.
Yeah, I mean, if there was one game to miss them, it'd probably be this game. You don't want to be rolling in the SEC play, missing both of your tackles, but it will give a opportunity for the younger guys to get some reps out there, something that they didn't get to do last week much. And so we'll see what the young guys have to. We'll see what Dellinger has to do and some of these younger offensive linemen that we have, and it's going to be a great opportunity for them to play well and get some confidence.
I just kind of disagree. Like, I don't need Dellinger and Charles Turner playing tackle. That doesn't help this football team. Like, they need Cam Wire and Austin Deculus out there. Now, Deculus has been playing this position for 20 years at LSU. So, but, does he need Chase and Hines? Do they need to get some reps out there? Like, I don't think it would hurt. And then at left tackle, Cam Wire has not been a full-time starter, and he's your left tackle, and you need him, and he's not going to be out there, and you're probably going to have Charles Turner playing. And if you trot Charles Turner out there at left tackle against Auburn and Florida and A&M, not to mention Alabama, that's just a massive disadvantage. That's a guy that you brought in to be he was a backup center like 3 weeks ago, and now you're starting left tackle. It's an issue for me. It's an issue.
Yeah, I'm not downplaying that. It's a huge issue. You want to have both of your tackles. You lose Rosenthal, like Coach O said. That's someone they were counting on heavily, and that's a big left tackle position. We know how important that position is in football, so I'm not downplaying that. But it does present an opportunity for guys you didn't think would come out there and see what they have to offer. Who knows? They may, come into their primes and really become good players. We'll see, but they'll have the opportunity starting this Saturday.
And he was asked, are these unavailable players? Is anyone suspended? He said, no, they're unavailable. And then they followed up and said, can you, pick your spots on suspensions? And he said, yes, we can do that. And the fact of the matter is that, some of these guys may be hurt. There are academics involved. There are probably some suspensions, as your former coach would say, people being withheld from play. But look, Ed Orgeron has done in the past. He did it in 2019. Sadiq Charles was suspended for half the season. He missed the crappy non-conference games. He didn't play against Mississippi State. And when they played Alabama and when they played Texas and when they played Texas A&M, he was out there because that's the way they wanted to handle the suspension. It certainly wouldn't surprise me if there was some of that going on here. It's not really relevant. It doesn't matter. It's the McNeese game. Moving on from that spot there, the running game was an interesting portion of that press conference, and I have been very upfront with saying most press conferences are not that interesting, especially ones before football games. And this one certainly wasn't. The running game was interesting, and this is a quote he gave, and I need you here because this is your world. They asked about UCLA being able to take away LSU's running game. And Ed Orgeron said, if you only have one or two runs, they're going to stack the box. And that made me scratch my head and go, why do you only have one or two runs? And then he answered the question. He said, we started preseason and came up with our 5 best runs. And for those 5 runs, we run them out of different formations with different shifts, and we disguise them, but there are 5 core runs, and you sprinkle other things around them. And then the game plan, these are his words, got dwindled down because of the amount of blitzing they were doing, which if you have 5 core runs and it gets dwindled down, that's how you get to 1 or 2. You're the running back. Tell me what I'm reading in here.
Yeah, like I said, I said that just when we started yesterday that we were trying to outsmart them instead of just running our stuff, and that's exactly what Coach O said. They weren't running their stuff, and that's just simply he answered it. And I mean, you respect what they're doing out there, but I think, like he said, you find your 5 best runs and you run them no matter what. And if they stop them, then they stop them. But I think you're kind of giving them a little too much credit out there, and you really limited yourself as an offense. And you saw that in the run game. There was nothing there. And I think if you were to run some other stuff, maybe you have an opportunity to pop one. But when you're running 2 plays and they know you're running those 2 plays, and then you get forced into pass situations when you go down by double digits, it's a recipe for a disaster, and that's what it was.
What were they running? Can you identify that it's a simple run game?
Yeah. They were just running inside zone and duo press, which is you try to double team where you can get double teams at. If there's 5 guys down on the line of scrimmage, then you won't have any double teams, and then the linebackers can just kind of blow up the holes where they see fit. And that's the only 2 plays we were running. We kind of had some RPOs going in there a little bit. A couple of those got tipped, a couple of those got dropped, and so they kind of got away from those. And then we didn't run any read option or speed option stuff with Max. I think you saw him on that big 3rd down. He can use his legs when he needs to. We didn't do any of that. So hopefully we can start running more of this offense, really, getting our guys in space and using the backs in the passing game. That's something that really blew my mind that we really didn't do at all. So we got time to change this and get better, but it starts this week.
As far as personnel goes in the running back room, he said that they will not know about John Emery's status until Friday. To me, that does not sound like an injury. Sounds like it's academic in nature. We'll see if that gets straightened out. It seems like an odd point in the calendar for that, but I don't know exactly what the school schedule is. So we'll see about John Emery. Then they asked about Corey Kiner. He said Corey's ready to go. We just couldn't afford to get him in the game at that juncture. They went with Josh Williams, obviously. That's where that changes this week. He's got to be out there and he's got to play.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought start the year off. Your offense isn't clicking like you want. You start the first half with 10 points. Probably not going to throw guys out there that you don't trust and that haven't been in this offense. And so that wasn't a shocker to me. So this is a prime opportunity this Saturday to get some of these younger guys in there, get their feet wet in the college game. I don't care who it's against. It's always a great opportunity to go out there and play in actual football games on Saturday. So that's going to be a good opportunity for some of these younger guys to go out there and step up, because I was definitely shocked that Corey Kiner didn't get any snaps.
Look, that's why there's value in these games. It's like a preseason game for an NFL team. You got the scrimmages, but this is like a preseason game because you're going to win it. Get those guys out there, get their feet wet, let them pass protect, see if they can get their feet on the ground, run the football, get a little bit of confidence. I like these games. I'm going to talk about that all week, but got to get Corey Kiner in the game, get the game going. Disappointed to hear that they're not sure about Jay Ward. And you caught him, Jay Ward, right after he was talking about Jared Small being out for the year, and then he said he wasn't sure about Jay Ward, and I went, oh my God, is he out for the whole year? And I don't know the answer to that, but he said not sure, he's questionable, and then he went on to say he's doubtful, I'll know more on Friday. Obviously that injury is a little more significant than what it looked like as we were just kind of watching, and then all of a sudden he wasn't out there. But I do believe, and this could be proven wrong because he hasn't done it in the games, just I think he'll help if he can get out there and play the full 60 minutes. I think they missed him on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. You missed him, definitely. And I think those are our biggest concerns heading to the season. Would the safety play improve from last year, and will the linebacker play improve? And you got to have safeties in that defense. You're going to be matched up man-to-man a lot on tight ends, and they're going to be trying to run play action stuff. And if you got a safety who can cover that, it's going to make it so tough for an offense. And we saw Jay Ward all throughout camp. We saw him making big pick sixes last year. We could have used him in that game, and we're going to need him this season. So some of these younger safeties are going to have to step up because the safety play was not up to par.
Yeah, Jordan Tolles was in there when Dolchich made a big 3rd down catch to convert, and they scored a touchdown the next play after that. Tolles is a really good athlete. I mean, he almost played college basketball at LSU and football. He's a really good athlete, but I think Ward gives him their best option there. They really could really use him back. So that's, as I run through my notes here, got that one. So that's essentially the highlights from the press conference outside of a lot of questions he got about his son, Cody. And that storyline doesn't mean anything to anyone down here because LSU lost. If LSU would have gone and beaten UCLA 52-10, everyone would be eating up the fact that O's son was playing quarterback for the other team. There will be stories written about it. It's a cool thing for their family, but everyone's in such a cranky mood down here that no one wants to hear about it. I thought some of the anecdotes were funny that he brought up about how Cody's out of tickets as a road guy, so he's calling his dad to see if he can get some more tickets. I think that's a good guy to call. He might be able to get his hands on some more tickets. I thought it was interesting when he talked about Cody's been at practice, O's seen all their games, he knows them. And they were talking about the best part of it was when he was saying, you've kind of created your entire career on motivating defensive linemen to inflict serious pain on quarterbacks. You going to do that this weekend? He's like, I might just tone my verbiage down a little bit, but we're coming after him. So it was humorous if you're willing to take it for what it is, which is just a nice little interesting storyline that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I think another cool point he said, there's no cutoff point. He's going to talk to his son up into the game,
Yeah.
I think, which is a cool thing. He said it's his son no matter what, McNeese or LSU out of it, it's going to be his son forever. So I think that's a cool storyline. But like you said, when you lose to UCLA, just use it to razzle a little bit. And so, but I think this is going to be another great opportunity for this team to go out there and really get the bad taste out of their mouth, like Coach O said. So hopefully we can do that.
Keaton Berrien in the Bayou Ford chat on YouTube says, what's Goodwin's status? I didn't hear an address about him, but it sounded like when he said it last week that he wasn't going to play, that this was not like a 1 week thing. I think that he's going to be down for a little bit, in the same way that obviously Glenn Logan is down for a good bit as well. I don't expect that he'll be ready, but I don't know that. So that'll be as far as I speculate.